Today is day 4 of our Advent journey, thinking about the promise of home. And today we remember one of the other patriarchs, the fathers in the line of the people of God that leads to Jesus. We're reading from Genesis 32, verses 22 to 32. And it's one of the stories of the life of Jacob. Jacob is a twin, and him and his brother Esau, they are competing, they are rivals, and his brother is a hunter, his brother is big and strong, but Jacob is tricksy. And this rivalry reaches its peak when Jacob, he tricks his father, who is losing his eyesight, into giving him the blessing, the family blessing that should have gone to his older twin Esau. But Esau comes and he trades his inheritance for his immediate hunger. This, of course, leads to strife, and Jacob flees for his life. Then he comes and he falls in love with a girl. He works years of his life to earn her hand in marriage, and then on the day of the wedding, in the fading light, just like his father was tricked, he is tricked, and he marries the girl's sister and has to work for years again to earn his true love. And eventually he feels called to go back to his family home, to the conflict with his brother that he'd ran away from. He's a wealthy man, but he's in fear. He has to run away from his father-in-law and the conflict and opposition there. And he's heading into conflict and opposition with his brother. And wedged between that is this story, this mysterious story where at night Jacob comes across this mysterious man and wrestles with him and says, "I will not let you go until you bless me." And Jacob here, he changes from being tricksy to being someone who perseveres, someone who won't let go. That's some of those characteristics that had maybe been used in different ways earlier in his life. He pours into wrestling and fighting with this man. And I wonder, what have you been wrestling with? What have you been fighting for? Is there something in your life where you need a change? Is it a material change? Is it an emotional or mental change? Is it a change in your health or a change in your relationships? Is there an area of your life where you are praying, God, please bless me. Please change this situation. Please, would you take away my pain? Jacob persists. He gives us an image of the way that we can persist with God, persist in prayer, a theme that even Jesus picks up on in his teaching. As you read this story today, I wonder if you could just bring that thing that you're wrestling with to God. Maybe you could think about what it is that you're striving for intentionally, or maybe even unintentionally. But there's a detail at the end of this story that I think is something we need to reflect on and chew on. This image of God that Jacob is wrestling touches his hip and it's immediately displaced, and the fight ends. And even when the fight ends and Jacob is blessed and he walks home into his future, he walks with a limp. He carries something of the struggle with him. Sometimes we come through struggle and it leaves scars, it leaves difficulties. The years of challenge and conflicts that we might have gone through, whether it's been this time of the pandemic or things going on in our family history and our personal life going back far, far longer than that, far deeper roots than that. Sometimes we come through it and we still limp. We still carry those scars. But sometimes God blesses us and he uses the limp and the scars as part of his purpose. So maybe as you ask what you've been wrestling for with God, maybe you could also ask, how has the wrestle changed me? Where am I limping right now? What am I carrying on? And some of that might be things that you need to recover from. And some of that might be things that God is saying, I am working in and through your weakness.